Chapter 876, Pudding Coincidentally Appears.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Pod D Cast. We're back again, baby, after not a hiatus, but temporary delay, as our hippo friend was away in Skypea fighting the sky babies, as he does once a year.
I love killing sky babies.
Me too, dude. So we're back with Chapter 876, Pudding Coincidentally Appears. What a long name, but I like it. So let's start with our cover chapter here, baby boy.
So it's the Psy Grand Fleet, Happo Navy.
Mm-hmm. So basically we're done with Bartolomeo.
Yeah.
He's, at last we saw him, he was burning shank flags, and that's the end of his shit.
Yeah, so this is the third guy. I forget all the different guys in the fleet. I think I have it
There's
up
a bunch.
on...
Oh, there was like Cavendish. Cavendish had his own little thing for a bit before, if you recall. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many
There's a
other
big giant guy.
ones there is, but this fleet looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it before.
What I like about these is the Happo Navy, Sai, and what's his name? Don Chinjiao, all those guys. So they were built up during Dressrosa to be pretty powerful, and I like that. And they clearly have like their own distinct culture here. Like I like their different shaped sails that they all use. They're like individual shutters or like blinds on a window and stuff. Yeah, it's just pretty cool.
So it looks like he would be from Wano. I don't know whether he is, but it looks like, because this is very the Japanesey sort of ships.
You know, to me, I always thought these guys had a more Chinese feel to them. I don't know why I thought that, but I do. And the Chinese also use kanji, so that's consistent. So there you go.
Yeah,
But
not much to say
see.
about
I mean, there's
that
not much
so
more to
far.
see. Yeah, we're just getting a little flavor for these are the Happo guys. I'm sure we'll see more as we go.
Right, so jumping straight...
Oh, by the way, Sai, if you recall, everybody, married or
Baby
fell in love
5.
with Baby 5. So I expect we see a little hearts. If you look right over the center tiger head, that's going to be some Baby 5 making, if you know what I'm saying.
5 babies.
Now, here's a question, though, just a real quick one. So Sai just said something vaguely nice to Baby 5, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't kill your own friend or something about Baby 5. And she instantly fell in love with him, as she does with all men, because she's a trifling ass hoe. If some other guy just says to Baby 5, hey, let me get that thing off your face. You've got a little broccoli stuck to your cheek. Will she also instantly fall in love with that guy and cuck Sai immediately? What do you think?
I don't know.
That would be in character.
Maybe. I don't really know much about that. I can't remember. I really need to reread Dressrosa, because I think.
Oh no!
No, just the beginning part where you're learning about all the characters, because there's so many characters introduced, and I didn't know that any of them would continue to be, relevant. And I need to see who these guys are a bit more.
I hear you. I remember everyone because I'm a genius. Remember that guy whose power was that he turns into a jacket and then he gets worn by the other guy? Like, what
Sounds
the fuck was that?
pretty gay, bro.
It was the weirdest thing of all time, but yeah, it was cool. Also, I forget what I was going to say. Okay, never mind. Let's get to the
main chapter. So,
yeah,
big old Zeus blast has been done.
that's right.
And there's a big old fucking hole in the ground, and Big Mom is nowhere to be seen. All of her soldiers are dead. Everyone's fucking dead.
This seems like it was actually one of the most powerful attacks in the series thus far, basically. This was a big deal.
It's probably on the level of, like, a meteor.
This is what Eneru used to do. Eneru used to do this shit. Only his wasn't even this big, I don't think.
It feels like it was that big. I'm not sure.
But it made it, well, okay, maybe. Maybe you're right. Anyway, this is at least Eneru level attacks here. So very, very big, very strong. I like it.
Yes.
It's good.
And, of course, Big Mom is completely unaffected. She's like, I don't care what happened, I just want wedding cake. By the way, I just want to point out, in the translation I'm looking at on Manga Stream, the first speech bubble...
Weed, right?
Yeah, she said weed. Because it's like the first half
cake.
of wedding cake. And
That
she's just...
was the most... That was the most important thing I wanted to point out about this chapter. It's my favorite. She wants that weed, everybody. And who could blame her? By the way, this is, I think, I've been saying for a long time, I want to see Big Mom do impressive things. This is good. This is good stuff we're finally seeing this chapter. She took this gigantic attack, didn't even fucking flinch. Everyone around her got obliterated. She's like completely intact. I'm starting to be thoroughly impressed by the power that Big Mom personally has right here in front of us. This is good stuff. Very happy to see. Plus she's just like walking through Earth like it's nothing.
Yeah,
and just,
like walking upwards, like by making upward stairs by just walking up. Is great.
Yeah. It's great. This is good stuff. And later on, she makes another big attack that's very scary and intimidating. Yeah, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. I'm getting pretty impressed. Though it is making me wonder, like, Jesus Christ, like, how are they going to be able to beat Big Mom? Like, even if Luffy escapes with the red poneglyph, like, I don't think he'll be able to end this series with a power level strong enough to actually defeat Big Mom in one-to-one combat, which I think is actually fine. I don't really think that's necessary to become Pirate King, but he probably will not be the like actual strongest guy in the world, just based on how incredibly tough she is. I don't know. What do you think? You think?
Well, I don't think in this like form of Luffy, where he's like he's still young. Like if he's like I'm 35 and I've got like my rubber muscles are bigger now.
I do not want any kind of time skip at the end of One Piece that is like a 10-year training arc or anything like that. I don't want that at all. I want him to be a young boy and become Pirate King. He's like, I think he's 18 in Japanese in One Piece. And like
he was 18.
Now.
Oh no, wait, he started off as
16.
16. God damn it.
Yeah.
At the time I first started reading it, I was like, oh, he's older than the usual shonen protagonist. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait.
That's only in the West that they made him 18, though.
Wait a minute. No, I'm trying to think. No. Yeah, he was 18 in the English.
No, he's not. I'll prove it to you right now. One Piece, Luffy. I'm going to the wiki. We will confirm this for all the folks at home.
I distinctly remember at least Zoro was 19 when he was introduced in the series.
Oh, I was slightly off. Luffy was in fact 17 when the series began, and he is now 19. Okay, so we were both off a little bit.
Stupid young boy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I always think it's funny how, like, the oldest main character of any Final Fantasy game, which is normally about teenagers doing crazy shit, is Cloud Strife at 21. He's an old-ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. But okay, anyway, so we'll see.
By the way,
yeah, that's interesting stuff to keep.
The whole the weed thing, she does it every single time. Weed. The same.
You know what she really wants.
Yeah. She needs that weed, the ding, like the little bell, and cake. She would like a cake. She would like somebody to ring a bell and give her some weed and cake. That's what she wants.
Exactly. So, okay, so they're just running away, and then Pudding shows up.
Yes. Pudding shows up, and she is... Let's just get straight to the thing. She's a tsundere. That's where they're going with this.
She sure is.
What do you think about that?
The first thing she says, by the way, or when she first shows up, that panel right there of Sanji being like, "My dear Pudding, you're safe. I'm so glad your beautiful face isn't hurt." Pudding's reaction to that, of like all three of her eyes, including her third eye, turning into hearts, and her literally foaming at the mouth and just blasting steam off her face because now she loves Sanji so much. I love this. I love that as well. It is so adorable, and the fact that she's still like trying to put on this evil face. Like now I'm past the whole Pudding arc. I've gotten over the fact that I was slightly disappointed by it. That doesn't matter at all anymore. Now Pudding is just this incredibly adorable girl. Oh, yeah, I like her a lot.
Her reactions to Sanji
so endearing.
I like because it mimics the way Sanji acts around women. So it's basically they're the same guy, except she just she has what I like to call evil Tourette's. Like she can't help but say, actually, I hate you, you bitch. Oh no, I didn't mean that. You know what this
literally is? This is literally how Cartman in South Park pretended to have Tourette's so he could get away with like saying swears and calling people bad names and shit. And then after a while, he like because he acted as if he had Tourette's for so long, he actually like psychologically removed his own filter. So he actually did develop real Tourette's, and he couldn't stop himself from saying things he no longer wanted to say after a while. This is exactly what Pudding's going through right now. It's fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious and adorable.
From just being evil.
Yes, she flips backwards and forwards between being so in love with Sanji that she's crying constantly, and being so stuck in her ways of being evil that she's telling him he's gonna die and all his friends are gonna die and fuck you and I hate you and it's not like I came to save you at all. In fact, I want you to die right now. I want you to eat lead. And then,
I
I
love
didn't mean that.
Chiffon's reaction faces to all of these. She's got such a big old face, such big old reactions. She's cool. She's carrying her weight right now well.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I like this. I like this. I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, if... I don't know whether Pudding would join the Straw Hats, but she might travel with them for a bit.
Nah, dude, I'm telling you right now, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Traveling
the
with
the
them?
most likely thing is a reunion after the end of One Piece. I think that's where this is going.
No, that's gay. She's
I know,
funny.
man,
I want
I'm
her to
telling
be
you.
around. I want her to be, like, Sanji to be there. Because it's like the Straw Hat... I mean, I'm not, like, clamoring for more Straw Hat pirates. But just having her on the ship would be interesting for a while.
I'm telling you. Okay, you know what? That might be, but I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen. But we can see what happens. We can see who's right.
Well, why do you think that? What do you think's going to happen with this character at the end of this arc? Why is she not going to be on the ship?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know exactly what the resolution will be. I think that Pudding will just basically stay status quo member of the Big Mom Pirates. Like, it's not like she's actually betrayed anyone in the Big Mom Pirates. There's no reason for them to, like, throw her out. She's just trying to, like, stop Big Mom at this point, you know? So it's not like she has to leave for any reason, and I don't see her leaving her whole family and stuff. Like, I don't think Big Mom is going to be, like, killed, obviously. I think things are going to pretty much stay exactly the way they were for the Big Mom Pirates, except that Luffy will have, you know, gotten the red poneglyph print, which is what he needed in order to advance, you know, becoming Pirate King and all that. And Pudding will just stay as a member, but she'll be like, sort of like the way that we think about Vivi now. Like, Vivi now just hangs out, you know, in Alabasta doing that kind of stuff, and we see her every once in a while just to see what she's up to. I think that's exactly how Pudding is going to resolve. And it's not because I don't think she's interesting, it's that, like, One Piece really is an action-adventure series, you know, and, like, just having someone there as, like, I don't know, you can just think of her as, like, the girlfriend or the wife of Sanji. Like, that's a lot of... That's a burden on the writing that would be there if she was there. It just doesn't make sense to me that that's like the way that the series is going.
Burden how?
Just the fact that she has to be dealt with, like, okay, so Straw Hats, they're all doing this now. What's Pudding doing right now? That's just an extra, like, bit of work that Oda would be adding for himself if someone else is on the boat. Whereas if she's just with the Straw Hat Pirates, I mean, to me that just seems like the default position, and Oda could absolutely write in a way for Pudding to carry along, but, like, I'm really kind of readjusting my expectations of, like, what's realistic for what Oda is likely to include in the story going forward, and I just don't see that as a very likely one of them. Even though I do think, based on what we're seeing right now, on the way that the Pudding thing has resolved at this point, clearly, Pudding is way into Sanji, which I love and is adorable. Sanji obviously cares about Pudding a lot. I think that they are going to be... Basically, this is a couple now. I think this is going to be there until the end.
Oh, of course.
Realistically, it's only going to take like a year or two in world time for the gang to like win and get One Piece, and then after that they'll probably break up, and then I think Sanji will get together with Pudding again. That's what I see happening, just like the Gold Roger crew did. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think she's going to stay here, and then after the end of One Piece, I think Sanji will in some way come and get her.
Well,
yeah, that's my thought.
It makes sense. I hope that at least for the part where they're running away from Big Mom, like she has time to interact with more than just Sanji and the crew. Just a little bit, because she's
her
funny.
And Sanji and Chiffon have broken away right now to go do their own thing. That we'll see, in a couple pages. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see them working together. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but that's still Pudding and Sanji and stuff. I don't know. I just like the way that she's sort of like saying all these terrible things, and then Luffy's getting mad at her. So, do you want to fight? What are you doing?
This two-faced character is pretty funny. I will say that I don't like. I like about this as like a temporary, inclusion in One Piece, which One Piece has tons of. Like, this is an arc character, and I think after this arc, I don't really want this to be a omnipresent thing. It just there's just not that much going on with this character. Okay, but whatever. We don't have to totally agree on this point. So basically they just ask Sanji, come with us. We need to go make food. You're a cook boy. Help us. And by the way, I absolutely love that we have gotten to this point that I hoped that we would get to all along with the quote-unquote year of Sanji last year, where it finally is a cooking duel, where Sanji finally gets to flex those muscles and be the cook boy. This is the most relevant that Sanji will ever be, ever, obviously. It's all going to be downhill from here in terms of Sanji's relevance. But this is good. This is exactly what I hope to see.
Yeah, so they're asking Sanji to come with them to make the cake to give to Big Mom. Chiffon says the only thing that can stop Big Mama right now is the right kind of cake. Make it and she'll let you go free. I don't know whether that's her just being hopeful or whether that might actually happen. Will she just say, delicious. All right, you can go.
Well, it's just their. I mean, she says, like, Big Mom right now is in one of her fits. She will chase you to the ends of the fucking earth, just because you've done this, which I'll take her word for it. She's probably done similar things before to other people. So, they just need to fucking deal with that, and then they can probably escape more easily or something. At the very least. Or maybe she'll just let them go, maybe.
I think at this point letting them go is a bit much. Actually, I don't know. I think it would be a bit much if she wasn't a complete lunatic, and because she's a complete lunatic that loves cake, she might just say, that was great. Alright, you can go now, I don't give a shit.
Because, I mean, Big Mom's plan was to murder all the Jerma, steal their technology, and this wedding was a ruse in order to lure them here so that she could do that. And the Straw Hats have dorked that through their interference, as did Capone. Capone fucked it up for her as well. So yeah, like, that plan has failed. That did not end up happening. The Germa have escaped, it seems. So, I don't know. The Straw Hats are to blame for that, but I'm just wondering if at the end of this, when she gets the most delicious cake of all time, will she just be like, you know what? Fuck it. This was the most delicious cake. You made me a very happy boy. I'm satisfied. I don't know. Maybe that's how it went. Maybe my original prediction will be right all along. Remember how I was predicting that this would end in a big feast with Big Mom, that they would like become blood brothers, and that they would all,
I was hoping for that potential alliance through just making her delicious food, but
it's possible.
It didn't seem like it before, but now maybe.
At this point, that's become the way this is going. So we'll see. Maybe they'll just have to run away and they won't have the feast the way they normally do. But
yeah, I don't think there's going to be
to have one of those,
a feast,
especially with a person who is an actual cannibal, just fucking eats people.
Yes.
Do you think she likes people? Do you think the people taste good to her?
I think she doesn't. I think she still doesn't even know that she does that.
I think you're probably right. Okay, and
so they're gonna. That's the plan. And Sanji jumps up onto the flying carpet, and then Big Mom does a big old giant mighty nation attack, whatever it is, with a sword, which is a big boom. Goes big boom, as it were.
You might say, yes, it's excellent. I'm very intimidated, and I mean that sincerely. She's powerful.
All right, and the next thing that happens is Pudding uses her memory fruit for the first time on a bunch of guys.
Remember how we were talking about this, folks?
Remember that?
Yeah, we were like, okay, if Pudding actually has the power to manipulate the memories of, like, large swaths of people at once, that might make her one of the literal most powerful characters in the entire series. And she does it. That happens right here. She does it to a whole fucking crowd. So in this case, what she does is just, so every one of these guys, this seems like it might be a specific weakness of Homie's. She brings back the memories, I guess, like specific non-relevant memories to what's happening right now of the people whose souls that Big Mom took and put into these trees in the Vanishing Woods or the Bewitching Woods or whatever. And she just brings those to the forefront so they get distracted and go do other stuff. So basically it's like a effect that just fucks up Homies for a little while. We still don't know that she can do that to, like, normal people, I suppose. So maybe this isn't, like, the most powerful attack of all time. But, seems pretty fucking intimidating.
It's interesting the way she does it. It looks like, if you look at the first panel, where she's saying, memories fill, there's, like, a little wire coming out of the palm of her hand, which is she's, like, slapping people with, I think. So she might be able to, like if that's the way she does her power, then I don't know how she's gonna change if she does of like a crowd of human beings, but that's how it would like get to them. Is like touching them with the string.
It kind of looks like she passes the string through them, maybe. Like
Maybe.
it's a little hard to tell, in manga. In animation, it'd be clear. It looks like she passes the string like through a big crowd, and by doing that, that seems to like.
So she can
fuck 'em
change memories or do something with memories of a lot of people at once. So,
Yep.
I mean, at first I thought she had to like put her hand on someone's head and pull to take memories out, like she did with Reiju.
Yep.
But potentially, she could wipe the memories of a bunch of people at once, which is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, in that case, she like when she did that to Reiju, she like pulled out the film and like cut a piece of film out just to remove memories. So this is like bringing old memories just to the forefront. So it is a slightly different thing, but like the potential is there, and it's extremely intimidating. Pudding has like one of the most powerful fruits, as far as we've seen, at least for one-on-one things. And this is just very intimidating. And I still like. We've been saying for a while, like, nothing has been done with Pudding's Devil Fruit until right now. Like, up till now, we were still like, okay, this is a big Chekhov's gun. When are they going to address Pudding's Fruit? And this is good. Like, I think what's happening here, like, her doing this really doesn't make that big a difference to the plot. So I think what Oda's doing is he's introducing her ability to, like, mass, manipulate the memories of large amounts of people, so that later on, he can then show how she's doing. I think like this and her first thing that she did to Reiju, which wasn't like that important of a thing to do. I think both of those have been introduced so that she can do some big event later on in this arc, maybe near the end. And maybe it will be a thing where she changes like the memories of like all the Big Mom pirates so that they forget all this happened, so that the Straw Hats can get away. It might be something like that. I still think something big is coming with her fruit. I don't think that
definitely.
we've reached the end. Mm-hmm.
It could be that that once Big Mom's eaten the cake, she uses the fruit and on Big Mom, and then she forgets that she hates the Straw Hats, or that she was trying to chase them.
Yeah.
Or maybe she can replace the memory with something else. She obviously has the potential to do that. I assume.
It seems that way. I mean, we know she can do it one-on-one, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Though actually, have we seen her replace memories or just remove memories? I think just remove.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that seems right. Okay, well, nonetheless, we'll see. We'll see. There'll probably be more stuff we see of her anyway. So anyway, now we see we're flying over. Sanji is with the ladies. Pudding's being very kawaii-des as she looks, and she's like, "Yeah, Sanji, you're so close. Get off my fucking carpet, you gay bitch." And then they're flying over, and they see the Straw Hat, the Shippy Dippy, the Sunny Go, and they see Brook and Chopper fighting on that. And they've beaten up a bunch of these little soldier guys, but the main dude, Katakuri, is just sitting there watching as they fight, because he's just too strong.
Yeah,
he would destroy
he's
them
too
instantly.
cool.
He is too cool. God, I love him. Guts is my favorite One Piece character.
Yes.
Very.
So yeah, Brook and Chopper fighting. They're doing a lot of damage, but also there's too many soldiers. I'm trying to think of like the power level of like Brook and Chopper before to take on huge amounts of soldiers. I don't know whether either of them have really done that yet.
We haven't really seen much of both Brook and Chopper in terms of power level since the time skip. The only real fights they had were during Fishman Island, when they both defeat like one Mook under the of Hody Jones's crew, and they were super powered up with the special drugs and whatnot. But I don't know, like we were longtime shonen readers, so we know that we need a little more to get an accurate gauge of power levels for these guys.
Yeah.
But we do know that Candy Boy, Prospero, and Katakuri are here, and it seems pretty clear that those guys are probably more powerful than Brook and Chopper. So
probably. I'm just trying to think of like the old Luffy status, where he would beat up a huge amount of guys, and that would be impressive. And now Brook and Chopper, Chopper used to be one of the weaker ones.
Yep.
And Brook, we never really got that much of a gauge of his power level before the time skip, because he didn't have much fights.
Exactly one fight against his own shadow, against Ryuma, and then he finally had a fight later. Well, he had a little bit of fights here and there against like the flying fish riders. He showed off his like sleep powers with his violin and stuff. That was kind of cool. But yeah, like really,
It's-
we haven't seen much.
We haven't seen enough to know whether Brook's more powerful, really. But obviously he is. It's just like
He's got they've gone
it's.
into like his,
I just
sort of
want to
devil fruit
see.
powers.
I just really want to see him own someone. Like
Yeah.
even right now, he's out of breath, even though he doesn't have the lungs. Yo ho 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 ho! You know, like he's out of breath after
Everyone
fighting all
knows.
these guys coming out of the mirrors. There's lots of guys, I'm sure, but like it's
Yeah.
it's just supposed to be cool.
I want to
supposed to be
see.
real cool.
Okay, everyone knows like the coolest thing in shonen is one-on-one battles, where the two characters pit their like special powers against each other, and we watch them and see who comes out on top. Like that's what makes shonen fun for the little kiddies and for guys like you and I as well. That's really good stuff. So what I want to see, I'm telling you what I want to see right now. I want to see Brook 1v1 fight Prospero, the candy guy. And that candy guy is basically like a wizard of candy. I want to see him doing all kinds of magical stuff. I want to see Brook fight him one-on-one. I want to see Brook get a little bit fucked up and be actually challenged. But I want Brook to use his special powers to defeat Prospero in the end, prove that he's a strong boy, have a tough fight that he comes out on top of, beat the first son of Big Mom, and show that he's a badass. That's Shonen
Yeah.
101. I want to see that shit. And I don't know if we will, but I hope we do.
Yeah, the way I'm seeing it go is that he says, "Get off! Sonny is our ship." He's yelling. He's mad.
Yep.
He's really going for it. So he might be fighting Prospero right now. But I don't know whether they're gonna show it because Luffy's right
see
there.
it. I want to see it. That's the problem of like the big cast of One Piece. Like Brook versus Prospero would probably be a badass, fancy ass, dope ass, both two esteemed gentlemen duel. I want to see that shit. I want to see it so bad. And One Piece has it's been a little bit of skipping over things lately that like I feel like early One Piece would have drawn a little bit more just because there's so much more going on in the narrative. And a little bit is getting lost there. At this, just for the sake of like moving the plot along faster, and that's fine. Like I can't really complain, but like Brook's a character who's needed another fight for like a decade since Thriller Bark happened.
Yeah.
And
We didn't get to see him. We didn't get to see him struggle against Big Mom when he was all cool like that. I mean,
yeah. Again, that's a fight we did not see. We just saw like him stand there, and then we
it was a
cut to,
very,
like,
it was a
later
very
he lost.
cool,
Yeah.
very cool moment and a decent time to cut. I guess. There needs to be, like a new Sheepy 9 arc or set of enemies for them to fight one-on-one everybody. Like I know that happens a lot in shonen, but it actually hasn't happened in One Piece for a while. It's been
true.
there hasn't been just a straight up.
I mean, Dressrosa was that basically, and
Did
Frankie
Brook
got a
fight
great
anyone?
fight. Frankie gets very few fights, but he had a great one against Baby 5.
That is true.
That was pretty cool. But the thing is, like Brook, Nami, Sanji, those guys, they had already left Dressrosa by that point. So now is the time when we give them their fights to show how cool and badass they are. And Prospero versus Brook, two tall-ass, fancy gentlemen, just sounds like the coolest combination. I want that real bad. And, I hope that happens. Chopper's, literally never had a good fight, except for against that one CP9 guy. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Also, when he fought Gidatsu and Skypiea, that was kind of okay. Yeah, that wasn't bad.
It was a bit. I'm thinking what might happen is that if Brook is fighting Prospero, then Katakuri is going to have to fight the rest of them. But Big Mom's right there, so I think the Big Mom pirates are going to run away because they don't want to get in. Like they assume Big Mom is going to destroy everything, so they're going to run away. Or like
that makes sense.
I don't know what's going to happen. Either them two are going to get defeated.
Strong. He's so strong.
Yeah,
One could chase him away.
Except for Mama.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, fucking Chopper's Kung Fu version, I hate. I hate the way it looks. It looks stupid. And the reason
hasn't done anything cool since the time skip.
The reason I really don't like that version, the Kung Fu point, is it doesn't make any sense why he has to be that shape to do Kung Fu. Like all the other ones, it makes sense. Or like the guard point, he's a big shield, big spherical, lots of thick skin, and all the other ones, they all make sense why he's that shape. But this one is just like, what other shapes are left? A square. It's just a square now.
My problem with Chopper post-time skip and his forms and his changed forms is that, first of all, we don't have a full understanding of them, which is just annoying. So I just tell me, like, have him give him a fight, have him explore all his different forms, and yeah, that'd be cool. One Piece has steered away from like cool duels that really go into depth on the character's powers, in favor of sort of like a more general understanding of like, oh, okay, we understand Chopper's got forms, whatever. We understand that Brook has ghost powers, okay, whatever. Like things like that, as opposed to like remember, like there was a whole fight between Zoro and Mr. One, where the entire deal of that fight was Zoro cannot cut steel. If he wants to beat this man, he needs to figure out how to cut steel with his swords. And they're like, that's like a very small thing, sort of, that whole fight was about. And it's one of the best fights in the entire series. It's so cool, it's so badass, and like One Piece just doesn't have a lot of fights like that. Oda seems content to kind of gloss over a lot of stuff. Like the fight between a Baby 5 and Frankie is a good example. That was a good fight because it explored certain aspects of Baby 5. Sorry, I didn't mean Baby 5. I meant Senor Pink. I meant to be saying Senor Pink this whole time. Senor Pink versus Frankie, because it explored like the gentlemanliness of Frankie and Baby 5 and Senor Pink, and that's fine. That's cool. But, like, we don't actually see any of, like, Frankie exercising specific powers that he has in a way that you typically do in Shonen when you've got that kind of stuff going on. And, like, since Frankie hasn't had a fight since the time skip, it would be a perfectly appropriate time to bring up his new capabilities and show off his special powers. But Oda just, like, didn't seem interested in doing that. He just wants to, like, paint the backdrop of who Senor Pink is, and then have a manly contest, which frankly is fighting on Senor Pink's terms, because Senor Pink was the one who brought the like gentlemanliness and like the manly battle stuff to that fight, and then Frankie just kind of matched him on that. So that fight was really about Senor Pink and was not really about Frankie, which is like a little bit different from what One Piece originally was. And you know, that's not a terrible thing. It wasn't a bad fight. It was quite good, but it's something that has been lost a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I can understand why Oda does that, because he's more interested in the world that he's built and the things that are coming to a head, and the political stuff. And
that's definitely where he's going with it. Yeah.
And the more time he spends on drawing panels for battles, the longer it's going to take before stuff happens. But I feel like there's a delicate balance that he has, like a delicate balance between the typical shonen battle stuff and the big, long adventure stuff. And at the moment, it's just been adventure after adventure, which is cool, and it's great that he does that, because he does it so well. But
the best.
We're dying for a good fight right now.
Exactly.
Like, the last big one, I think all the last big ones have been Luffy, haven't they?
Yeah,
like
I mean, think about
Cracker
Doflamingo versus Luffy.
Because like it's okay, I understand Luffy has to have the big battle with the bad big boy at the end.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a waste of having so many characters if one character is always the one that has the battles. Like you need really smaller but still substantial battles going on throughout.
Like Dressrosa did have a bunch of battles. You know, Oda built this whole crew for Doflamingo, which were all pretty damn cool guys, so that like our characters could fight them. But then, like honestly, a lot of them were just defeated by like the arc characters of the Dressrosa arc. Like Diamante was defeated by Diamante had killed Kairos' wife, so it's understandable that they would fight. And Robin was just there as like support character, kind of. But really, it was Kairos who defeated Diamante.
Yeah,
Treble was killed by like Luffy/Law.
That I feel like it's slightly more okay because those characters, a lot of them end up becoming Luffy's like fleet. So they needed a reason to be relevant and to show their power and to show like a reason for them to follow Luffy is that he beats the big bad guy and all that.
Well, Kairos didn't. Kairos did, but that's okay. Kairos' arc was cool anyway.
But like, yeah, like. For something like this, where it's just a small team, every team member should have a fight, and
exactly.
I don't know.
And there's so many Big Mom pirates with which to have these kind of awesome fights. It's just that Oda doesn't seem to make that a priority right now, which isn't terrible. If Brook has a badass fight with Prospero, I will be satisfied. I will be happy with the level.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need to do a ton. Just give us like one per arc, and I'll be happy. And not a Luffy fight. Luffy's always going to have a fight. With the other guys.
Yeah.
That would make me happy.
I mean, Nami's done a lot this arc. She did a big boom right then.
Nami doesn't need big fights, as far as I'm concerned. I am satisfied with what Nami's doing.
Yeah.
She's not a fighter, really.
Jinbei, I don't know. I don't think he's like had a fight with anyone, but he's all right.
He's gonna have a fight with Death that he's going to lose, and he's going to die, and I'm going to laugh.
I'm just looking at all the other characters. Carrot, she was with Chopper, and she didn't do. No, she didn't do much. And the other guy, the cat boy, he had the fight with the chicken lad.
Stuff that was kind of cool. He fought, Chicken Man, Egg Boy, Tamago. That was kind of cool.
So Chopper, he didn't do shit. His whole adventure in the mirror world was glossed over.
Yeah, Chopper did nothing. He did literally nothing.
Brooke at least did the sneaking in thing, got the plans, but
yeah.
We
Brooke
want
had
more.
real utility.
We want more cool skeleton knife duels.
Yeah, none of this is really a major criticism of One Piece in general. Everything that's included, for the most part, has been good. The problem is, by including all this good stuff, like, there's a couple things that are missing from the formula of, like, the perfect shonen. That's really what my complaint is. I love One Piece. You guys all know this. But they just, like, a couple more, like, we all know what I'm asking for when I say I want some, like, more shonen fights. We all know what this is, because we've all read One Piece and 1,000 other shonen. I want more of that. One Piece needs a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
So, and that's it.
And that's the end. The last page is just Sanji making a pun. Time to make a cake. Well, it's not really it's not a pun. It's just a rhyme.
It's a slight rhyme, half rhyme. Yeah. And Pudding's all blushing. Oh, so Hazakashi.
That's a cute blush, like a 3-eyed, like. Ooh.
I love her 3-eyedness. It's great. It's adorable.
Oh, it's adorable.
Cute. My favorite was when she had the 3 heart eyes, including her forehead eye. Oh, I like her. She's good. Now that my expectations of, like, Pudding being like a double, triple, quadruple agent have been, destroyed, I'm past that, and I'm happy. And I can just appreciate her for the character that she actually is. And I like her a lot. I really do.
Yeah.
And we'll see if she has more memory shit. I think we'll see more.
Really,
so.
the reason I was thinking about her joining the crew just for a little bit, not permanently, was because there's only 2 women on the ship at any one, Robin and Nami. Sure. Robin is very quiet, and Nami is just sort of, she's Nami. But this is a very different female character. She's very different from all the ones previously.
Yeah.
She's literally Sanji Rule 63, kind of.
It's been a meme for a long time. I remember it first happening. The meme began when the Straw Hats got separated on Shabmondy, and Luffy ended up on Amazon Lily, and they met Marigold. No, it wasn't Marigold. It was what was her name? There was the girl who like found Luffy first, and what the fuck was her name? Okay, I can't remember.
Yellow hair girl.
Yes, exactly. Her with the snake bow and whatnot. She found Luffy, and like for a long time, I personally was like, oh, she's definitely going to join the crew. She has all the signs to join the crew. That was actually the beginning of like the point where One Piece like stopped getting new crew members, because this was right after Thriller Bark, and now it's been like, fuck. Has it been 10 years since Brooke joined? I don't know, maybe like 8 years or something since Thriller Bark happened. It's been a long ass time. And like the meme has been like the next character to join has to be a female. It has to be a woman, because there's so many guys, and like One Piece or the Straw Hats like need a female character. Like people like what's her name? What's the snow bitch? The harpy lady from Punk Hazard. I'm talking.
Monet.
Monet, yeah. Everyone's like, oh, Monet is going to join. The Straw Hats need a Logia user, and they need another woman. She's perfect.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's not... I didn't know that meme, but
really?
I would never thought, like, any of these characters would have joined the crew. The only reason Pudding
people still think Monet is, like, a good candidate to join the fucking Straw Hats.
She's just a bird person.
I know. I actually liked her a lot, but she's not Straw Hat material.
I can't really remember much about her. She was kind of cool.
Remember her goofy glasses that had the funny rings on them that she would wear? I always liked that. That was cute.
But yeah, like,
the idea that... She didn't need to be a bird, by the way. She just had Law turn her into a harpy lady for no reason. I like that. That's
she's
goofy.
A furry.
She is a bird... Oh, my God, you're right. Is it feathery? Whatever. Yeah, she is. She definitely is.
But like the idea that, the next One Piece character has to be a Logia. They need a Logia on their crew. I'm like, that isn't really that important, is it?
Yeah, like, I see where you're going. That would sort of be nice, but, like, we don't need one. We've seen with, like, Karibo and like PCOMs, how you can just fuck up now that there's hockey, you can fuck up Logia users no problem. It's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just things to keep in mind. Just fun community discussion that's been happening for a long time. Well, okay, last thing before we wrap up. It's been so long since a new character has joined the Straw Hats. And I know there's discussion about Jinbei, and I don't think he's going to join. We'll see if he does. But, like, let's just say that Jinbei doesn't join for now. Will we ever get a new Straw Hat? Because, like, we're closing in on the end here. There's not even a lot of runway for someone else to join at this point. Is it Jinbei or bust at this point? What do you think?
I think that either Jinbei will join the crew and then the Fisherman Pirates will be with Aladdin or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Jinbei and the Fisherman Pirates will be part of the Straw Hat Navy.
I think that's what's going to happen personally, but we'll see.
I kind of would prefer the second one, but I don't think I'd mind it if Jinbei joined the crew proper. I'm trying to think of like what type of main crew member would they need? A guy who can swim and be a fish guy is like the most obvious thing that they're lacking.
It's just that, like, that would have been useful, like, 10 years ago. They're so far beyond that now. We've got Frankie, we've got Sanji, we've got Zoro. They can all swim. It's never been an issue. Do they really need one now? Okay, but you know what? That aside, I don't even... Putting the Jinbei question aside, I'm just wondering if he doesn't join... You know, there's been a meme that the Straw Hats need 10 members. That's what Luffy originally said in Chapter 1. So, like, that leaves one spot open. If it's not Jinbei, do you think anyone else would even join? Is it possible? I say no. I don't think anyone's going to join if Jinbei doesn't.
I don't know. It's really hard to think because there's so many characters going all over the place.
There's so much work involved for, like, Oda, not to mention the marketing machine behind One Piece. Like, when I was at Anime Expo, there were just buses covered in One Piece shit. You know, I know people from Hawaii who are just, like, all their One Piece, like, because it's close to Japan, it's just, like, One Piece is everywhere, just like it is in Japan. Adding a new crew member is, like, a big deal for, like, the world, especially, like, you know, Japan and associated places, anime world. I don't know. I would bet there's like social pressure to not introduce a Straw Hat member if it's not really necessary.
The only reason I'm not sure is because if it's not Jinbei, then my other guess would be Pudding, but she is just now being introduced and she hasn't had any history with them. She's just sort of like suddenly loves Sanji. It would be weird if it's not Jinbei after all this time and it's instead Pudding.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know.
I would like Pudding, though. It's there's Wano.
I know you like Pudding. That's cool. But, like, you know, if those two don't join... I kind of mean, like, if something were to happen sort of after this arc. So, like, are we going to get to Wano and meet, like, ooh, a really cool samurai lady. She'll be a good member. It's like, well, no. I mean, we've already got Zoro. Do we really need one? What does she offer to the crew that's not already there? Let's
go through this. We got the captain. We got a swordsman. We got a chef. We got a doctor.
First mate. He sort of functions in both roles. We've got a cook. We've got a navigator in the terms of Nami. She's the lady for that.
We got a historian, person. We got
archaeologist.
A doctor. We got a sniper.
A musician. Sniper/tinkerer. Yeah.
Tinkerer. I don't know whether he would be considered a botanist. I guess not. Like if there's one thing they don't have, it's a botanist. But
honestly, like Usopp with his pop greens seems to fulfill that role pretty well. Yeah.
What other like weird think of like pirate crew ships, or just ships in general. What do they need?
You know what they don't have?
Cabin boy.
Actually, that's what I was gonna say. Like they don't have like a plucky young up and comer, just like kid hanging around. That maybe
Naruto
I don't
Uzumaki.
really like that idea, but I don't like the crew is already young enough that we don't really need that.
Yeah,
so.
it's not important.
I
guess Fish Boy is like the most logical next one.
You know what Jinbei would be if Jinbei joins now? Jinbei is like TG Sid from Final Fantasy Tactics, aka Thunder God Sid. And Thunder God Sid from Final Fantasy Tactics is by far like the most broken, overpowered character in possibly any video game I've ever played. He joins your team like last. He's like the last one to join your team. And once you get him, nothing fucking matters anymore because you have the Thunder God and everything is fucking trivial. And, like, that's what Jinbei, in terms of, like, his ability to swim and be a sea god, basically is. Like, it would have been great to have him up to this point. So him joining at the end is a little bit like, well, fuck, dude, where the fuck have you been? We could have really used you all along. But it kind of, like, assures them victory in a certain sense. Like, their water battles are no longer anywhere near as big a deal because they've got fucking Jinbei. He will just win those kinds of, like, water situations. So that'd be something, you know. I don't hate the idea of Jinbei joining. I don't hate it. I just think it's a little.
If not a water boy, if not Jinbei, then probably a scientist. A scientist.
They've got Frankie, and Frankie studied Vegapunk's work and shit, and they've got Usopp, and they've got, I don't know, Nami's like a weather scientist now. I don't know. I know what you mean. Like they don't have like a Caesar Clown type like mad scientist guy. That might be a cool dynamic.
Maybe Vegapunk will join the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
lots
Jinbei.
of things.
Oh well. Nothing much was lost. It's just 10 people is enough.
Yeah, I mean, it would be 10 if Jinbei joined. Yeah, that would be something. At least I think so. Okay, well that's it, everybody. We went for a while, just going off on a bunch of topics. There wasn't that much, that happened this chapter, but we filled that time anyway. So I hope you enjoyed. All right, We're all done. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you probably next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.